If your DMV road test is coming up, I want you to imagine something. You just started driving, you park the car, the examiner looks over at you, smiles, and says, "Congratulations, you passed." That's exactly what every driver wants to hear. But here's something most drivers and people don't realize: passing your road test isn't about being a perfect driver, it's about avoiding the simple mistakes that quietly cost people points throughout the exam. A missed shoulder check, a rolling stop, turning too wide, looking in the wrong place while reversing, braking too late. None of these mistakes happen because people don't know how to drive. They happen because nobody explained exactly what to expect during the road test. So today, I'm going to walk you through the DMV road test from beginning to end. Every major maneuver you're likely to perform, the common mistakes that cost people points, and the simple habits that can put you in a much stronger position to pass. By the end of this video, you know exactly what to expect, what to avoid, and how to walk into your road test feeling prepared instead of nervous. Let's begin. Imagine you just arrived at the DMV. You're sitting in the driver's seat. Your heart is racing. The examiner walks towards your vehicle, opens the passenger door, sits down, checks your paperwork, and says, "When you're ready." Believe it or not, your road test has already begun. One of the easiest mistakes applicants make is thinking they aren't being evaluated until the vehicle starts moving. But before you even shift into drive, the examiners are already watching how you prepared. Take a moment to adjust your seat, adjust every mirror, fasten your seatbelt, make sure you're comfortable reaching the pedals and steering wheel. These may seem like small details, but they immediately demonstrate that you are preparing instead of rushing. Safe drivers prepare before they move. And that's exactly the habit that you want to show from the very beginning. Now, the examiner says, when it is safe, pull out of the parking spot. Don't rush. This is where many applicants actually lose one of the easiest points on the entire road test. Before moving, check your mirrors. Turn on your signal. Look over your shoulder to check your blind spot. Only after you confirmed it's safe, begin moving slowly. One mistake I often see is applicants checking their mirrors, but forgetting the blind spot. Remember, your mirrors don't show everything. That quick shoulder check helps you confirm that the area beside your vehicle is actually clear. Another mistake is accelerating too quickly. There's no need to hurry. Pull out smoothly, stay in your lane, and let the examiner see that you are in complete control of the vehicle. A few moments later, the examiner says, "At the next intersection, make a right turn." Many new drivers think that turn begins when they start turning the steering wheel. It does not. A good turn actually begins several seconds before that. As you approach the intersection, check your mirrors. Signal early enough to let other drivers know your intention. Begin slowing down gradually. Position your vehicle correctly within your lane. Look carefully for pedestrians crossing the street. Then complete the turn smoothly into the correct lane. One easy point people lose here is turning too wide or entering the wrong lane after completing the turn. Now imagine the examiner says, "At the next intersection, make a left turn." Left turns require a little more patience. If you're turning on a solid green light without a green arrow, remember that you must yield to oncoming traffic before completing your turn. Don't let another impatient driver pressure you into rushing. The examiner isn't grading the person behind you, they're grading your decision. Wait for a safe opening, complete the turn into the correct lane, and continue driving smoothly. One safe decision is always better than one rushed decision. Now, a few minutes into your road test, you're approaching a stop sign. This might seem like one of the easiest parts of the test, but it's actually one of the most common places people quietly lose points. Here's why: many applicants slow down, almost stop, then continue rolling through the intersection. It feels like a complete stop, but the vehicle never actually becomes motionless. Instead, Bring your vehicle to a complete stop before the stop line or crosswalk. Once you're fully stopped, look left, look right, then look left again if necessary before moving. Don't just move your eyes. Actually, turn your head enough to clearly demonstrate that you're checking for traffic. If there are pedestrians, always yield to them. If another vehicle has the right of way, be patient. Remember, the examiner isn't looking to see how quickly you get through the intersection, they're looking to see whether you made safe decisions. One complete stop can save you points. One rolling stop can cost you points. After a few more turns, the examiner says, when it's safe, change into the left lane. Take a deep breath. Lane changes become much easier when you follow the same routine every single time. Mirror, signal, blind spot, move. Don't change the order, don't skip a step. First, you check your mirrors to understand what's happening around your vehicle. Next, you turn on your signal. Give other drivers enough time to recognize what you're about to do. Then, check your blind spot by looking over your shoulder. This is one of the easiest points people lose. Many applicants check their mirrors, but forget that mirrors don't show everything. Only after you confirm the lane is clear should you begin moving. Make one smooth movement into the new lane. Don't jerk the steering wheel. Don't drift slowly between two lanes. Once you're completely inside the new lane, turn your signal off or it automatically turns off. A smooth lane change always looks more confident than a fast lane change. The examiner isn't impressed by speed, they're impressed by control. Now comes one of the maneuvers that makes almost everyone nervous. The examiner says, pull over to the curb and reverse in a straight line. The moment many applicants hear the word reverse, they begin panicking. Don't. This maneuver is actually much simpler than most people think. Before you begin, check your surroundings, look for pedestrians, look for approaching vehicles. Only begin reversing when it's safe. Now, here's one of the biggest mistakes applicants make. They rely almost entirely on their mirrors. Instead, turn your head and look primarily through the rear window over your right shoulder while backing up. Your mirrors are there to help you monitor your position, but they shouldn't replace looking where your vehicle is actually traveling. Back up slowly. There's absolutely no reason to rush. The slower you move, the more time you have to make small corrections. And that's another important point. Many applicants believe that making one small steering correction means they have failed. That simply is not true. Making a safe correction, it's much better than continuing in the wrong direction. The examiner wants to see that you're in control of the vehicle, not that you're perfect. As long as you're backing up safely, observing your surroundings, and maintaining control, you've demonstrated exactly what they want to see. At this point, you've completed several of the most common maneuvers performed during a DMV road test, but one maneuver still makes many applicants more nervous than anything else: the 3-point turn. The good news? Once you understand the correct sequence, it's so much easier than most people expect. The examiner will say, when it's safe, perform a 3-point turn. If this is the maneuver you've been worrying about, you're not alone. It's one of the most intimidating parts of the road test for many new drivers. But here's the good news. When you break it into 3 simple movements, it's actually much easier than many people expect. Before you begin, check all around your vehicle. Look for approaching traffic. Never assume the road is clear. Once it's safe, signal, then slowly begin to first turn towards the opposite side of the road. Stop before reaching the curb. Shift into reverse. Now check your mirrors, look over your shoulder, make sure the road is still clear before backing up. Reverse slowly while turning the steering wheel in the opposite direction. Again, Stop before reaching the opposite curb, shift back into drive, check your surroundings one more time, then complete the final turn into your lane. Here's what many applicants get wrong: they rush. Remember, there's no timer. The examiner would much rather see you take a few extra seconds to observe your surroundings than rush through the maneuver and create an unsafe situation. So, slow down, show them that you are in control and aware, and that's exactly what you will be demonstrating and what they will be very happy to see. Now, parking. At this point, you're almost finished. The examiner now asks you to park the vehicle. Whether you're pulling into a parking space or performing another parking maneuver, that's part of your state's test. So you have to make sure you look up that information. But remember one important thing: the goal isn't perfection, the goal is control. As you approach the space, you slow down, look around, use your mirrors, keep your steering smooth. If you realize you're slightly off, do not panic. Many applicants think making one correction automatically means they failed, and it does not. A safe correction shows good judgment. Trying to force the vehicle into a space without correcting often creates a bigger problem. Take your time, stay calm, park the vehicle safely. That is what matters. Last minute of your protest. So now here's something that catches a lot of applicants by surprise. They think the test is over, so they relax. They stop paying attention. But your road test is not over until the examiner tells you it's over, even after parking. Remain focused. Shift into park. Set the parking brake if appropriate. Turn the engine off if instructed. Stay professional until the examiner finishes speaking. It's a small detail, but staying focused all the way to the end demonstrates consistency. Before we finish, I want to remind you guys to remember one thing. You do not have to be perfect. Once again, you don't have to be a perfect driver to pass your DMV road test. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is demonstrating that you can drive safely. Follow instructions, observe your surroundings, and make good decisions. If you've practiced, if you've prepared, and if you apply the habits that we covered today, you're giving yourself much better chances of success on test day. Don't think about failing. Don't think about every possible mistake. Instead, focus on the instructions directly in front of you. One maneuver at a time, one safe decision at a time. That's how confident drivers approach a road test. And before you know it, you'll be parking the car, hearing the examiner say, "Congratulations, you passed." If you found this video helpful, subscribe to Driving TV for more videos like these that help you obtain your driver's license and pass that DMV test the first try and with a lot of confidence and be very prepared. Good luck on that road test, and I will see you on the next video.